Hi there, my name is Sophie, and I'm one of the developers of There's Trouble in Paradise. I'm here today with the Sklepia Studios to host Game Night, a show where we walk you through one of the setups of our newest games so that you can get your game night going. In today's walkthrough, I'm going to show you how to set up and start a game for 2 players. If you have a larger group, I suggest that you watch our next video for how to set up for 4 players coming soon. I'll also show you in the walkthrough what pieces to grab, what they mean, and how we can set up our board. So let's get started with some of the pieces. The first and most important piece for this game is your player board. These are small hubs where players can keep track of important information. For the character slot, you can put a card that you receive at the beginning of the game. There's also the bank where you can keep track of your tokens and your credits. Items where you can keep track of the items that you equip, and vitals, where you can track your players' physical and mental health. Lastly, there are trading slots where players can place their cards that they're willing to trade away with other players. Next, there are a lot of different kinds of tokens in the game. The first is credits, which is the currency of Geb and Paradiso, the 2 planets in our game, There's Trouble in Paradise. These credits have values of 1, 3, and 5. Next up, we have physical health points, and these track your player's physical health. You can have between 0 and 10 physical health points, and it's important to keep this number high. So 0 means that you have died. Essentially, this means you have to restart your deck, completely shuffling your cards and getting new ones. And 10 means that you are incredibly healthy. Then, similarly, we have tokens for mental health points, which track mental health between 0 being the worst and 10 being the best. If you're at 0, you have incredibly poor mental health, and you'll be forced to take a vacation or sit out for 3 rounds. And 10 means you're balanced. Having high physical and mental health points will allow you to make more decisions during the game. Next up, we have a few different kinds of cards for our game. First, your player card or your character card has information about the character that you have, like their name and what planet they're from. Then we have action cards. There are both health and economic action cards, and these detail events that have happened in your life and possibly choices you have to make as a player. Then there are item cards, which are items that you can equip to increase maybe your physical health or mental health. There are resource cards, which are pure resources that you have mined or potentially stolen from other players. And then there are recipe boards, which show how you can craft these resources into items. Lastly, we have some miscellaneous items and pieces in our game. There are 2 dice and a mysterious black envelope, which you should not open until instructed to. Okay, now that we've gone through some of the pieces, let's get ready to set up our board with a little example. Step 1 is to shuffle player cards and distribute 1 to each player. Next, place a player board in front of each player and make sure all the players are facing each other. Place your character card on the board. Next, let each player roll the die to establish how much money and health they should start with according to the information on the board. Make sure you place your credits or your tokens on the appropriate sections on the player board. Here, for example, the players now place their physical and mental health tokens on the board in the vitals section. Lastly, let each player roll the die to establish playing order. Start with the player that rolls the highest number, and then proceed to the next player for the next turn. Now you're all ready to play There's Trouble in Paradise. Now the only thing left is to have fun. Enjoy the game.